In the past, I was married with a person. At first, everything was okay. Until one day, I started experiencing unusual things in my life. This person started becoming very violent towards me. He used to beat me up. I couldn't sleep properly at night. I couldn't stay at home by myself. And I didn't know where all this is coming from. So my life getting worse and worse each day. I used to hear voices. I used to feel like someone is next to me, but then there is no one there. So it was really, really bad. It made my life unhappy. It made me become very depressed as well. And I couldn't explain to no one because people won't understand. I remember a day that my daddy rang me and said that he's coming from back home to visit here in UK. And the day before my daddy arrived, out of blue, he started beating me up. Beat me up badly. I have bruises in my face. He just became angry out of nowhere. And let's say if I ask him something, or if I touch something, he said, "Oh no, don't touch. This is my house." Because it was him brought me to the country. So I become like I would say a prisoner or as a slave, not as a wife. And I'll never forget, I went to the airport to meet my daddy, and my daddy was very, very sad. My daddy was very disappointed to see me going through what I was going through that moment. So that made me become very insecure. It also made me become very bitter, very angry, and I wasn't trust no one, no confidence in my life because of all this situation that I was facing in my life. And then there was one day I was very, very fed up with the situation that I'm going through. And I tried to call a few people if there is a church I can go, but then they said no. And I was a bit new in the country. So I went to my ex-husband, work back, and I find the city news from UCKG. Everything I'm going through was in the city news. At the end of it, the bottom of the city news, so there was a phone number, and they said you should call. So straight away, so I called the number, and a pastor picked up. I spoke to him about what I'm going through, and he said, "Oh, tomorrow we have service Sunday, so you can come." So I did obey what he said. So the next day I went to the help center, and to my surprise, as soon as I stepped my foot there, I received help. The same day I found peace, I feel comfortable, I felt love in the help center. And then I start coming and I start listening to the word and I start putting into practice. So there my life starts developing step by step. I was able to sleep at night. I was able to stay alone in the house. I stopped hearing the voices. The most difficult one was the headache, constant headache. It stopped. Eventually, because of the violence and the situation, I decided to leave this relationship and focus more with God, with my spiritual life. So my focus at first to see changes, like I didn't have my immigration paper, I didn't have a place to stay. So my focus was to receiving the blessing, and God blessed me so much with different things. But then I realized that something is lacking in me. I tried many times to change, but then like 2-3 weeks, I go back to the same way, simply because I didn't really let go until the point I was fed up. I said, no, things have to change. I cannot continue being in the church, see the greatness of God in my life, and then stuck in my spiritual life. So it's that point I make a decision to forgive whoever that have done something against me. And then I decided to take part of the 21 days. I sincerely asked God to give me strength to be able to forgive. I was able to forgive those that they caused me. I gave my all. There is nothing more. Whatever you ask me, I have give, I have forgive. Only your spirit can help me now. So in the service, I went in the morning preparing myself in fasting, and I was seeking the Holy Spirit, and God baptized me with His Spirit. He came with the assurance in my heart. He said, I am with you. It was indescribable. There is such a joy, peace, a peace I never felt before. It's just a peace. And ever since, my life never be the same. I don't hold grudges against no one. Now my life is completely different. I am a happy woman. Before, I didn't have my papers. Now I have my British passport. I couldn't even find a job. Now I have a job that I love to do. My children are happy with me. There is more peace in the house. Before, it used to be arguments, misunderstanding. But now there is more peace because the God that is in me, it brings together peace. And having the presence of God is the biggest transformation in my life. And I am complete. I am complete. God, He's not with me. He lives inside of me. As we're going to start the 21 days, I've already prepared myself to go in full power, to overflow. The way God gives to me, I can give to others.